up this morning, got the radio on, sipping cold coffee, knowing the day will be long. Just waiting for James to call with his PZ and name, but the hours keep passing, feels like a fool's game. I got the rig already, tuned to every band, but I'm stuck here waiting with the mic in my hand. Oh, I'm sitting here waiting, just wasting my time for James to activate, to hear that call sign. Gotta catch him once just to get through the day, but it's hours of silence while the minutes slip away. Then finally I'll hear him, that sweet PZ tone, and I'll be free to leave that radio alone. I skip my lunch, man, just waiting for the call. Dinner's getting cold, now I ain't hungry at all. The sun's going down, but James still ain't on the air. Got me pulling my hair out, sitting in this chair. Every minute that passes feels like 100 more. Just need to work James and I'm out that door. Oh, I'm sitting here waiting, just wasting my time for James to activate, to hear that call sign. Gotta catch him once just to get through the day, but it's hours of silence while the minutes slip away. Then finally I'll hear him, that sweet PZ tone, and I'll be free to leave that radio alone. I'm hanging by a thread, man, where you been? The clock keeps ticking, but my heart stands still until I hear James calling. I'm stuck here against my will. Oh, I'm sitting here waiting, just wasting my time for James to activate, to hear that call sign. Gotta catch him once just to get through the day, but it's hours of silence while the minutes slip away. Then finally I'll hear him, that sweet PZ tone, and I'll be free to leave that radio alone. Now the day's finally over, and I got him on the air, but tomorrow's another way. Guess I'll be back there, free for now, but just until it starts again, sitting by the radio, waiting for that PZ in.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. Great music and some shenanigans. It is Sunday, and it is time, once again, to thank each and every one of my Patreons because they're absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you what, they're part of a lot of shenanigans that goes on. You know, it don't just end here on Sunday, that's for sure. Also, big shout out to the YouTube members, each and every one of them, including the ones that's scared to be a rover, and the ever-changing board that did not change this week. So let's see if we can change it before Wednesday. And with that said, just so you guys know, any donations that happen between now and the time I leave will be going toward getting my tail to Florida where I can do some more stuff. And if there's extra, we're going to talk about what that's going to cover here in a few minutes. What is up, Dan?
That's exciting. I'll stand by for that because get on the edge of your chair and wait for it. First of all, I just want to say some hams do have hair. As Whiskey Charlie, pointed out, I'm not wearing a hat today because it is Shenanigans, and I wanted to say I really do have hair, guys. Really, I do. Whiskey Charlie. Speak of the devil, he was first in the chat at 1:15 this morning, or 1:14. Kilo 4. Oh, Tata. What's going on, buddy? Kent, Kilo 9, Alpha, Echo. Toby, Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta, Andy Cali. Good to see you, buddy. Mike 88 KB. Hello. Bob KO4 Zulu India Kilo. Georgia Parks and Propagation. That's our buddy Ron Chris, Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar. Go give his channel a big thumbs up and a subscribe button all about Georgia. photo activations. Really informative stuff over there. Brian, Victor Echo 3, X-Ray, November, Sierra, Stroke, Truffle Butter. How you doing, buddy? And Kilo Oscar 4, Golf, Bravo, Mo. What's happening, buddy? Ronnie, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu, Romeo X-Ray, Kilo 8, Golf Corvette. Yeah, Kilo 8, Golf Corvette. Terry, yep, you're in the house. John, Kilo 8, November, India Victor. Scott, November 2, Tango, Kilo, Tango. Hello. Richard, this is like the 5th consecutive stream you've been here, buddy. Welcome to 2025. Appreciate it. Kilo 6, Romeo Delta Juliet. Hopefully see you here in a couple weeks down in Orlando, man. Ham radio over the coax, K0OTC. What is up, buddy? He says, good to get you in the log again, James. Scrolling down, who we miss, Martini. That's the Jumbo Marshmallow, Whiskey Delta 4, Juliet, Mike. Good to have you in the chat. Mike Halpany, good to see you, buddy. Slow and Ugly CW. Man, I love that name. Slow and Ugly CW. That is awesome, man. And last thing I want to say on the little introduction here is this is episode number 104 of Shenanigans. Now, if you're quick at math, like I am not, 104 divided by 52 equals 2. And there's 52 weeks in a year. So this is our 2nd year anniversary episode of doing Shenanigans. So welcome everybody to the 2nd anniversary year episode of Shenanigans.
Thank you very much for the super chat. And now I'm confused because if he used it for me, why didn't he hunt me with it?
Oh, I don't know. See, you thought I'd be more gray. The gray is here. It's the distinguished part. But no, I don't have much. I got a couple of, salt and pepper stragglies up there. But yeah. Mike says, where's my hat? Or better yet, where's your gray? And just like normal QRP people, they kind of lag behind, the combo a little bit because they're not heard. But yeah, we're doing good.
And Whiskey Charlie said you have the wrong mic. I don't know what that means.
I have the wrong mic. I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea. Oh, I do. Hold on. I don't know why that changed. Good catch, dude. Thank you. Hold on. Now, better. Much better. Audio. Why does not change it? Can I not change it while I'm connected? Man, that don't make no sense. I don't know.
Yep. If his audio's off, Dan, you can drop out and then pop back in if you want.
That's what I'm about to do. James is going to entertain you for about 3 minutes, and I'll be right back.
Luckily, I happen to know that Dan's 3 minutes only lasts about 30 seconds. At least that's what I've heard.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'll be.
But anyway, we'll see what happens when he comes back. But good Sunday, everybody. Glad to see everybody in the chat, and I'm seeing some new names in the chat, or maybe just names that don't pop in here very much. Maybe that's it as well. But welcome. If this is your first time, please make sure and click the subscribe button, and everybody should smash that like button and click that notification bell. But hopefully, if it's not your first time, you're already subscribed. But there is like 12% of you guys that continuously pop in here and watch the streams that does not subscribe. So that's kind of weird to me, guys. Anyway, I'd suggest subscribing.
Hey, that's better.
Hey, it actually sounds better on this end. I didn't hear nothing really bad when you were doing it, but maybe that's because I'm in here with you. But
I had another camera hooked up when I did my last video for an overhead shot, and I still had it hooked up, and it was pulling the audio off of that camera up there. You can't see it instead of the one in front of me.
I don't see one up there, Dan.
It's right there. Yeah.
Where?
And
Dan's got a green camera in my room because I don't see it.
yeah, and what was weird, it didn't let me. It was in the drop down list in StreamYard, but it wouldn't let me change it until I dropped out and went back in.
There's Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta. She likes to come into my activations after I'm QRT.
Let's see.
But for Toby, I'll always pick that call out.
Let's see. Who did I miss? Chris Harris. Welcome, buddy. Whiskey 8 Oscar X-Ray. Whiskey 8 Juliet Echo Sierra. Hello. He's still there. The old guy from Asheville. He's William. He was on the air. I heard him yesterday.
Yeah, he just recently got his antenna back up, but he is back to hunting again. And speaking of what happened to people, what happened to me today? I was hot today. It was a wonderful 39 degrees today. And I'll tell you what, it felt like a heat wave. I'm not kidding. I was going out and changing the antenna around in a t-shirt because it felt like a heat wave.
It was cold this morning here. I looked out the window about 7:30 and nice thick frost layer everywhere. It kind of looked like it snowed a little bit, but it was just frost. There's
that Sunshine State Fun. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I actually, because we was in the car, I took the jacket and put it against the window because didn't want the sun coming in. It was just it wasn't cold at all to me at 39 degrees today, and that's a bad thing. That 39 degrees is seeming warm to me
compared to what you had the last couple of weeks. That's a heat wave.
So it is. There's still a lot of snow. As a matter of fact, I took some pictures. I'm going to stick a couple on Instagram this evening. But it's still quite snowy here. But it was quite nice today out there activating. So it won't be tonight. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, John, he is definitely okay, and he is back at it. There's Mr. Bang Bang in himself.
Our Duke of Alabama. What's up, buddy?
Good to get him in the log today as well. So, yeah, I got a couple in today. Sundays are normally my slow day because I got to be back early for Shenanigans. So I had planned on getting out earlier than I did and doing more than I did. But when I got up, Sherry's like, you're going to take me activating today, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, get ready. So she wanted to go to 9743 because she's working on a kilo there. One more activation and she should have. I would have thought the bands would have been 20 meters sucked this afternoon when I went out.
This morning it was really good because there was a guy in St. Lucia doing a little POTA rove down there, and I got him at one of his park, but I missed the twofer park that he went to. But anyway, he was light to me, 4 and 2-ish, but I could make him out. But I had to have my in-ear monitors in. So I had my in-ear monitors in, and I had all my knobs and gizmos and gadgets on the 101D adjusted where I can pull them out, and I had the volume cranked up. And guess who called and blew out my eardrum?
Who blew out your eardrums?
She was standing on a table.
Must have been Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta.
She sure did. I have never reached up to my ears so fast and took my earphones out. She was loud.
Was speaking of blowing somebody's eardrums out, today we were out in the park and somebody got a new antenna. And let me tell you, I'll tell you what, the call come through and Sidewalk Sherry jumped out of her skin. I actually came back. I said, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, you just made Sidewalk Sherry pee on herself. Because she literally jumped when he come through the radio.
Oh, that's funny.
It was like he stuck his head in the door and screamed.
Oh, so when I keyed up and get you, that all the birds in the park scattered.
Mm-hmm. How's this new antenna working out for you, Dan?
You know, I like it. And right now it's only up 20 feet as just an initial, test and tune. and I'm going to drop it back down here soon and do a little bit of spreading on the elements to get them a little bit tighter so they're not drooping as much. And I'm going to the fiberglass spreaders. I'm going to paint them as well, because fiberglass, no matter what kind of fiberglass, is going to degrade over time and UV. So I'm going to paint them. And but right now it's 20 feet in the air at the base of it. The 20-meter element's probably 25-ish feet in the air, and it's been doing great right where it is. A matter of fact, I can't wait to get this thing about 50, 55 feet in the air to see what it does.
I can wait, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you, when you break my speakers, you're going to replace my speakers. I'm just letting that be known.
I don't think it's going to make me any louder to you, but what the height does, the higher you go, the lower your takeoff angle is. So I'll get better DX, and it'll be good. K0 OTC, I got a hex beam, 6-band hex beam, covers 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6 meters, and all resonant. I don't need a tuner with it, and made by NA4RR at K4hex.com.
And I can tell you, he was mighty loud today on 20 meters into West Virginia. And like I said, 20 meters was not the best today either. So.
Yeah. It was really good this morning, but around probably 11-ish, 12-ish, it started to get really noisy and crappy.
Yeah, 40 was much better for me, for sure, as always. But that's fixing to change, because it's almost time. You know, I'm getting hot in 39 degrees. I have a feeling that in a couple of weeks I'm going to be in a t-shirt and shorts again, activating.
That's right. I say 6-band, and it is a 6-band resonant antenna, but it will do 30 meters with a tuner. It'll tune 40 meters. If you got a good tuner, you can get it to tune on 40 meters, but your receive sucks. It's not good on 40 at all. It's not made to be, but it does good on 30 with a good tuner. But other than that, it's great. Matter of fact, I'm going to put an outboard coax switch in the shack here where I can switch to the hex beam and totally bypass the tuner, 100%.
Oh, that never-ending hunter station. I'm always working on that never-ending activator station. And
the VHQ hex, I saw those a couple times at Hamfest, and I talked with the guy. They're very, very well built, and I mean, they cost a lot more than the NA4RR, but it's kind of one of those you get what you pay for kind of things. And I've read great reviews on this NA4RR, not necessarily how they work, but I look at longevity. So I want somebody who's had one in the air for 5 years, and I want to know how it's holding up over time. And I haven't had a negative review on it, but those VHQ hexes, they're built like tanks. Yeah, snow and ice. Yeah, you'll want something beefy. They make the extra snow and ice shock cords or whatever. I'd highly recommend you getting them. But no, we're having fun, man. It's a blast.
Speaking of getting what you pay for, I'll tell you what, Dan, that ABR coax, I've activated in the snow for years now, but that ABR coax, the difference in it rolling back up after it's been sitting in, like low teens weather as to regular coax it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I absolutely love that stuff, the way it rolls back up and stuff for me. Great stuff.
I actually just bought a whole bunch of their LMR 400 equivalent. They can't call it LMR 400 because LMR is a trademark at Times Microwave, but yeah.
Well, I hope you used my code and saved yourself some money.
Absolutely. And if you can find it, drop it in the chat.
Well,
so everybody else can have it. How does the shock cord work? Toby, I'm not sure because I did not get it for mine, but after talking with Josh for a little bit, Keeler 4 Lima India, I'm probably going to get it not for the ice because we don't have to worry about that here, but more so wind. We get a lot of wind around here, especially when a hurricane decides to mow over the top of us, right? So I might order the extra cord set for this hex beam. I think it just gives it more structural rigidity on the spreaders. But you got to think with ice, it's weighed down too. You got that extra water weight on top of it, right? Yeah, good luck with ABR for sure. I've had good luck with ABR too. I run them for my potor rigs.
And there you go. I just dropped the link in the chat, and I'm thinking right now that gets you 10% off for the next week or so.
John, I don't know yet. He asked if the ABR 400 is good as the LMR 400. I would assume so. The same stuff, just built by ABR. They can't call it LMR because LMR is a trademark of Times Microwave. It's cheaper than true LMR 400 from Times Microwave for sure. So I'm gonna give it a go, and give me a couple weeks to do a follow up, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't know about the LMR because I don't run a home station, so I don't need that stuff. But my orange coax now is at about close to 2,000 activations with that coax, and it's still in. It's been slammed up indoors. It's been rolled up in windows. It's been through it, ice, snow, you name it, and it's still in the same shape that the day I got it.
Yeah. And you're definitely not purposely hard on your coax, but just the number of activations you do, it's been rolled and unrolled and thrown to unroll it so many times and put through the ringer, and it's still run over by a deer. That's right, Toby.
And I'll tell you what, somebody the other day said, well, so-and-so said this coax is the stuff. And I said, well, cool, you can listen to so-and-so if you want, but this so-and-so goes out in the field every single day. Every year, I post at least 1,000 activations every year. So 1,000 times I unroll and deploy my coax. None of them other guys that's going to be doing that video is going to be able to give you that kind of feedback.
That's right.
So,
yeah, John, go with ABR, man, and can't go wrong for sure. And they're super people to work with. If you have any questions with their model numbers of what they sell, just give them a call. They'll help you out, and it's definitely not the most least expensive coax ABR, but you get what you pay for. So kind of like a cry once, buy once, that kind of thing. You can buy a stretch of their 400 equivalent, or you can get whatever they're calling KMR 400 on Amazon and kind of roll the dice with it if you wanted to.
I mean, coax will work no matter what you get, but the difference in it is the longevity and the things that it can do for you in the long run. And that's like, I've done this for years now, and I've used a lot of different kind of coax. And for the past 2 years now, basically, I've been running ABR because it just works. It works great, and I swear by it now.
Well, I run ABR because you can get a custom heat shrink sticker with your call sign on.
You can get a custom heat shrink sticker with your call sign. You can get however many chokes you want on it. You can get what color sleeves you want. You can even get it to where it has screw on and off ends to where you can say. So for example, like me, some of my antennas I use 239s on, and some of my antennas I use B and C. I can use one coax for that. All I do is unscrew the end and just screw it back on. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's good stuff.
There's another ABR coax user, Brian, Whiskey Charlie. He's had great luck with ABR on all of his activations. I imagine he has it all. I imagine he has it hooked up to all 5 of his radios right now.
And the funny thing is, a lot of my Patreons get ABR, and they don't use my link to save themselves some money. And I was like, "Did you save yourself money using my link?" Oh man, I forgot.
Absolutely.
Love my Patreons, but they're the world's worst about using links. It's kind of like you guys hitting the like button and the subscribe button.
Messi and Poloni LMR 400 is good stuff. I'm going to say that right now. Messi and Poloni is good stuff. But my run of LMR 400 right now is actually times microwave, and it ain't cheap. And I don't think that I'm going to see a difference between the ABR stuff and the times microwave stuff.
Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Mr. Zulu India Kilo has recently made his first CW contacts.
Very good.
And his first. Did you do PSK31 or did you do Hellscriber with me? I think you did Hellscriber with me, or maybe both.
I got you on Hell the other day.
So,
and you know, you mentioned, was it last Wednesday or last Sunday? I can't remember, but you mentioned, contrary to what Kilo 8 Golf Quebec says, if you have FL Digi set up for PSK31, you pretty much have it set up for Hellscriber.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely correct. All I did was change the mode and the frequency, and boom, it worked.
Yeah,
I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I don't. Now, we were having some trouble with Max, November 4 Tango Romeo Delta, but that was a propagation thing because his was working properly. I wasn't seeing him, and he wasn't seeing me. But Michael posted pictures in the chat. He and Michael worked him just fine. It was just propagation to West Virginia for him that day. So it's definitely. I love it, but I've noticed that we are making PSK31 great again because the amount of contacts I'm getting is starting to increase.
Oh yeah.
So it's starting to happen. Everybody should hook up some FL Digi and start doing PSK31 with me on these activations. I try to do it as much as I can. You know, it's going to be at least 3-4 times a week that I'm going to be out there activating. And in the summertime, I have a feeling that at the end of the night, once I've roved all day long, I have a feeling at the end of the night, I'm going to sit there and bang out some FL Digi with some PSK31, some Hellscriber, and I might even go back to some SSTV again.
There you go.
So,
can I comment on the Slack POTA archive not being on Slack anymore? Yeah, about a month and a half ago, we moved that over to Discord. You're talking about the Spots archive? The Spots archive has been moved over to Discord. I'll drop the POTA official Discord link here in the chat. But yeah, it's on Discord now. Much easier to manage, and there's a better community, more traffic over on Discord. So.
Why didn't y'all just put it on the POTA Facebook page?
There you go.
Because that's such a great place to go. Oh.
We're trying to move some things over to Slack. We're not going to force people. Over to Slack, over to Discord. We're not going to shut down Slack to the best of my knowledge because we're still going to need it for some administrative type things. But yeah, Slack. Yeah. I got to run Slack for work, and I really don't. Yeah, kind of bothers me. Hey, George, bang bang. See you, buddy.
Later, George. So John, I just recently started it. I made my speech at the end of last year that I was going to make PSK31 great again. I'm trying to, I get on here all the time and I talk crap about FT8, and there's nothing wrong with FT8, but there's something wrong with a lot of the people who use it because they do things that they shouldn't do. So instead of just bashing the digital modes, I figured I was going to restart some of the old school ones that actually require you to be at your computer. You can't just use an app to run it and go to sleep or go to the grocery store or whatever some people like to do when they run FT8. You actually have to be at them and, type in stuff and use your macro. So I started doing PSK31. And it's slow right now, but it's picking up. And then it was funny because it started as a joke that my last activation of last year that I was only going to activate on Hellscriber. and so as a joke that day, I started doing Hellscriber that morning, and then after I did Hellscriber, I just went QRT, didn't do no sideband or nothing, and people were freaking out. Of course, later on that day, I went back out and did a sideband activation. But so yeah, I'm doing a little bit of Hellscriber and a little PSK 31 at least 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes I like to do it. I like to do it every day, but it depends. I only do it if I have my DX10 with me. Like, and a lot of times I'll take the 891 with me, especially in bad weather, rain and snow, like it's been. But I have done it. Matter of fact, I did it yesterday. So
I'm just looking on the contest calendar. The coming up this weekend, January 18, 19 is the North American QSO party for sideband. The CW was going on this weekend. And the VHF contest is this weekend as well. But I saw something. Yeah, the Feldhill Sprint is this weekend too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the Field Held Sprint is this weekend, and it's Support Your Parks weekend as well.
Yeah.
So we could do some Hellscriber on Support Your Parks weekend for sure.
There you go.
That'd be pretty cool. It might load up on some Hellscriber contacts.
Yeah, Support Your Parks is 18th and 19th. So make sure you get out there and get your hunt and activation in for the pretty paperwork you can put on your wall.
So an interesting thing. We'll talk about Support Your Parks in just a second. But an interesting thing, I've been on the backup list for the expedition down to well, it's not really a expedition, but the expedition down to the Dry Tortuga.
Yeah.
And I got a message the other day that there is a spot open for me.
Ooh.
So I may be able to be going to the Dry Tortuga at the end of February for a couple of days to do some activating. It just depends because, they sprung it on to me right before I'm leaving for Florida. And it's about $1,000 cost. So we'll just see about that. But there might be some serious contacts being put out at the Dry Tortuga. There's going to be a lot of contacts put out anyway, because there is, I think, 17 people going currently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stand by for the 15th operator.
No. Everybody will be operating separate.
Okay.
The plan is to operate it 24 hours a day for the whole weekend.
Oh, you're staying. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be. That's why it's $1,000. We pull out Friday morning, and we'll be there. I think we're heading back Monday morning.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be a camping expedition. That's
Absolutely.
why the cost is, which, I mean, just to get to the Dry Tortuga, I looked it up just for a single person. Just say Dan wants to go to the Dry Tortuga, you're looking at $250 for the ferry ride, and then $15 for the fee to get onto the island.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count nothing to do with the camping or anything like that. Food.
Do you know what kind of infrastructure they have on the island? Like, do you need to bring the food you're going to eat, or do they have something there?
Well, now this is what I was told, and I guess that may be included in that money or something, because when you look at the site, if you're camping there, you got to bring your own water.
Yeah.
But I was told that all I would have to bring would be a tent, my own CW key, and a set of headphones.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
everything else would be there. There's going to be Yazoo radios out there.
Okay.
I guess I was told that specifically. So
let's see. Chris said you have to bring everything, but they have vault toilets and no power, no water, nothing very remote. So I don't know.
So
That sounds like fun though.
It'll be a lot of fun if I get to go. Now, when I first tried to get on the list, if I would have known then that I was going, I would have been putting back money for it, of course.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, okay, I'm on the backup list. I wasn't even thinking about how much it was going to be anyway. I'm like, nobody's going to back out of this anyway. But my luck.
Yeah,
They back-
cornbread staying home is free, but it's not nearly as fun.
The what?
Cornbread said stay home. It's free, but yeah, but it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah, well, I'm not staying home anyway. I'll already be going to Florida, so
Well, that's your winter home.
that's my
Yeah.
snowbird home
That's right.
for at least a month. It stays my snowbird home every year.
Well, that sounds like an awesome time. Hopefully you can go because it sounds like a blast. I think you might get, 30, 40, 50 contacts. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been activated before. People paid that much money, went out there and did 13 FT8 contacts.
Yeah. Right. I think both times that I've actually, I got dry tortugas 2 or 3 times, I believe, but I've never gotten it with somebody physically on the island. Every time I've gotten it, it's been somebody maritime mobile anchored still in the park vicinity because the park extends out into the water quite a good ways.
Yeah.
And that's every time I've gotten it's been basically marine mobile kind of contact. But yeah, interesting.
Well, there will definitely be getting activated, and I think she said that when we get back on Monday, we're going to do 2 more that doesn't get activated down there in the Keys a lot too.
The good part, the good part about that is from here to there, 20 meters is great.
So you're saying you get to use your new beam and blow their doors off.
There you go. Yeah, anything south of about Alligator Alley in Florida, I can get on 20 meters.
Well, Terry has a magic carpet antenna, and he can get things on 20 meters that he should not be able to get. Yes, he's extremely, extremely light, but there's not many parks that I go to, and I'm, I guess, 45 miles from Terry. So, but I do a lot of parks that are not in ground range of Terry.
Right.
Terry seems to get in every time, just about. There's a time or two, but normally when he don't get in on 20 meters, it's a park that he's worked me before on 20 meters. It's just propagation at David. He pulls some magic off sometimes.
I mean, he did the same thing in the parking deck with his mobile setup numerous times. So yeah, he just has that little, that Terry magic, Kilo 8 golf magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you never can tell what propagation is going to do. One day he worked me on 20, and I still don't know if I believe it or not, but he swore that I was 40 over.
Wow. Were you sitting out in front of his house?
I can't remember which park I was at, but it wasn't somewhere that, I mean, he could have got me ground wave, but not like that strong.
You were just over the hill, right?
Because I don't think I'm 40. Well, I might be. The only park I might be 40 over on him would be the Elk River Trail.
That's funny.
I don't even think the Elk River Trail, he don't even need to use an antenna. He could just hook his radio to coax, I bet you, and get me. I would guarantee that.
He says you were in Eastern Kentucky.
Was I in East Kentucky that day? Okay, well, yeah. He shouldn't even got me ground wave at all.
Yeah. I've noticed last couple of nights now that we're talking about propagation a little bit, 40 meters has been going long quick.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick. And 80 is open.
Yep. It's funny because that you say 40 is going long. So last night, about 10 minutes till late shift, Terry got me. I was 5'9" to him. 3 minutes after late shift, I was 5'3" to him.
Yeah, just
10 minutes after late shift, he couldn't hear me at all no more.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, and I still had a pile. Like but it was funny because I started noticing the shift, and all of a sudden it started being, you're 5'9" into Texas. You're 5'9" into Texas. I'm like, yeah, okay. Just
Same.
we shifting wrong.
Same thing happened to me and Eddie because he spotted, right after the late shift rolled over, and I was having trouble hearing him, and then he's right up the road.
Yeah. But then I went to 80 and he's like, oh, you're 5'9" here.
As he says, the quote from Terry, propagation's a funny bird.
Yeah, that it is. I'll tell you, I was looking at my numbers the other day when I pulled the stats just to see who was still in the PZN challenge so far, and I have not done it since I did it for last Wednesday stream. So don't ask, guys. I don't know. I do think I lost a couple since Wednesday, though. I'm not sure of that, but I think I'm going to say I think I've lost 3, and that's just me guessing. But I noticed my 20-meter numbers was on par with my 40-meter numbers almost.
Interesting.
Which is very weird for me.
Especially in West Virginia. I would expect that in Florida.
Now in Florida, my 20-meter numbers are going to be higher. But in West Virginia, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah, that's normally you're the 40-meter slayer in Whiskey Victor.
John, which activation, bud?
Ron Chris got somebody in Texas on FT8 just now, plus 22. Holy crap. That's ridiculous.
I was kind of waiting for John's answer, see what activation he was talking about.
Well, I'm confused. It doesn't take much, but I'm really confused.
The one that you cannot hear very often. I don't know.
I think Terry is going to go out and get the last 7 West Virginia parks that I need.
It's funny because Larry gave me his list for Florida. Every year, somebody gives me a list when I go to Florida. And last year it was Toby. This year it's Larry. So,
I can give you a list for Florida.
Well,
I hope your scroll buffer is real long because you're going to be doing your finger like that on your phone a whole bunch.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to work
I didn't
Florida.
recognize many of the names that Larry was giving me. So but I've already started looking at the Florida map, and I know I'm going to be going out East Coast a couple of times because there's some good clusters out there that I need to get. Chris says I need 310 in Florida.
Yeah, I need about that many too, probably more. Dean, I remember that. Yep, Georgia to Georgia 20-meter contact. Doesn't happen very often. That's why I don't have that many Florida because, people in Florida, there's a handful of activators down there that know, but the rest of them, they go straight to 20 meters. And like I said, unless you're south of...
I got to take their side. Normally, I'm going to say that's retarded. You go 40 meters for the close people. But during the day, Florida 40 meters.
That's, yeah.
Well, now if you're that activator that wants to go out and sit in a park all day long and make contacts, yes, you should go to 40 meters. But if you're going to 3, 5, 7, 10 parks that day, you're wasting your time going to 40 meters during the day. Yeah. Now, about 4 o'clock, I'll start playing a little bit of 40 meters to see where it works. And Dan and Chris both get me good no matter what time of day I go to it. But that's the thing, Dan and Chris, only for me to go to 40 meters is a waste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I stay mostly 20. Well, I say 20 and 17. I do a lot of 10 in Florida.
I can make it worth your while. I can work you with my call sign and the club call sign, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. on both, sideband and
We,
CW and digital.
we need to make a club call sign Kilo 8 Golf Quebec Corvette. And we'll call it the Hover Round Amateur Radio Society.
There you go.
Kilo 8 Golf Quebec Corvette.
Imagine him using that. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. I got a second activator. Stand by. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec Corvette.
Oh, listen, I heard Sidewalk Sherry using some really crazy phonetics. I told her, I said always use right phonetics until they don't understand your call sign. Then if you need to change it up a little bit, you can. And I heard her using some. I was like, what is she using? I'm pretty sure she used doggy for D. Although I've been known to use puppy for P, for pee man only, though.
Well, that's Puppy Tango X-ray. Yeah. That's right. Woof, woof.
But the funny thing is she was using them, and people was just like, I remember she said kangaroo and doggy was in there. And the guy come right back to her after that. And I was like, are you kidding me?
No, man. If you pull something like that on me, I won't even recognize you're trying to call me because I won't associate it with my head.
That's what them foreign stations do. They use really weird stuff. It's not like something.
Echo Alpha Guam.
Yeah. Who uses Guam for one? The one you all was talking about 10 minutes ago. Not sure what it was. Are you talking about the Dry Tortuga?
We're talking about Elk River too.
We were talking about the Dry Tortuga and we was talking about Elk River.
You should be able to get Dry Tortuga no problem on 20 meters, John. Even probably, I'm going to say 17 meters might be good too for you. For that.
He says when I'm in Florida, he can hear me at home all the time. Yeah, I got a good 20 meter game going down there for sure.
Yeah. From Orlando, you shouldn't have trouble there, John, on 20 meters. When he gets down to Dry Tortugas, 17 meters should be good as well.
If that's still a very big if, because that's a lot of money to come up with in a short time, especially considering I'm getting ready to be gone for a month.
After dark at Dry Tortuga, I bet 40 meters would be on fire.
40 meters works great after dark in Florida. The problem with that is most of the forks are closed at dark in Florida.
Well, not if you're staying there.
That's true. Not if you're staying there. But they close quite early. Like when I go out, it's rare that I go out and do a late shift. Yeah. I will have to do one every Saturday night while I'm down there, though. But right. It'll be a wildlife management area or something like that, which are all sketchy. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about Florida, but Florida wildlife management areas are sketchy. Like they're like multiple times have I been in a wildlife management area in Florida, and the police pull in there and do a raid. They go running back through the trails and stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? Hey, thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it. Oh. But yeah.
The hours are in sync with the senior citizen discount hours at Golden Corral.
I believe that, Toby. I believe that.
That is great, Bob.
Now here's another thing. Here's another thing. There are activators that activate state parks in Florida after hours. And a lot of people will say they're cheating, but they're not. Because I happen to know in Florida, there are several parks that you can get a after hours pass. You pay, I think, $40 for a year for an after hours pass. And that lets you get in an hour early and stay an extra hour later, I think is what it is.
Hmm.
So I've seen these passes. I know they exist.
Some operators get very irritated when you use your own words, phonetics. Yeah. I mean, I can see that, and I've heard that before. I mean, I always use standard phonetics unless you don't understand. And then I'm Wyoming, Denmark for Denmark, America, Norway, and that seems to pick it up. But the problem is, if you use a weird phonetic, and I'm in a park activating, and you call me. So let's say Whiskey 1, Whiskey Charlie calls me, and he comes up with like a Wiley 1, Wiley Coyote. From that point forward, he is known as Wiley 1, Wiley Coyote. That will stick into my head.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Funny phonetics, if I hear them correctly and they're funny, they'll break my pile up every time.
Yeah.
But be careful, because once you funny phonetic me, you were always that call sign, just like Kilo
Quack.
Charlie 3, quack, quack, duck. He
That's right.
he used to say it all the time to break my pile-ups. Now I know his tone, and he'll say Kilo Charlie 3, Quebec Delta. And I'll be like, nope, Kilo Charlie 3, quack, quack, duck, you're 5'9".
Yep. Like Jumbo Marshmallow. Yep. That's a good example right there.
So it's just like quiet, no talking.
And it's weird because if I'm in that rhythm, running a pile up, you could really say whatever you want, and I'm going to say it right back to you the way you said it. And I won't even realize I'm doing it until after the fact you said something funny, and 2 QSOs later, I'll be like, that was hilarious.
It's funny. Even tones, even like exceptional tones, I tend to try to say it back the way they sound it.
Mm-hmm. Juliet Delta Echo. Yep.
Yep. I used to sing that all the time. Whiskey 8, Juliet Delta Echo.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, KI4 JAV, welcome.
No, it's but I'll tell you, once an activator gets your tone, you're set with that activator. Because I don't have to pull out big signals. I can pull out small signals. I got one guy, and he'll get a 5'9", but he's normally a 5'7" from me. And he doesn't even say his call sign. He just says QRP. And when I hear him say QRP, I'll say Kilo 2, Yankee India Yankee, you're 5'9". And he'll come right back. Because it's just, I know his tone. And once I learn that tone, it's just that much. It's just great.
Speaking of tones, a regular we used to have in the chat here, my brother from another mother, Whiskey 0 Delta Alpha November, who moved over to Nevada a while ago. He used to live here in Georgia, same state I am. We used to make contact all the time on 40 meters, make our Whiskey 0 Delta Alpha November to WD4 Delta Alpha November contact. I got him on an activation today, not too long ago, out in Nevada, and he's doing well out there, so it was good to hear from him.
I worked Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Zulu November today.
Interesting.
So,
yeah, it's a hobby. Have fun, man. If you're not having fun doing this, man, you're doing something wrong.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about, is having fun.
You're gonna have some of the people that just are weird, for the lack of a better word, that try to say, "Oh, you can't do that." But have fun, dude. They'll get over it.
Yeah. The thing is everybody wants to say what they think. If you're out of their normal, you're doing something wrong.
Right. Like, you can't put on 60 meters. We all know that.
Kilo 4, oh ta ta, better late than never. You know what? I worked another call that ended in oh ta ta, and it was a Kilo and a 4. And I think it may have been Kilo Echo 4 or Kilo Delta 4, but I worked them the other day in POTA, and it threw me off. I almost worked. Let's just say it was Kilo Echo. I almost said Kilo Echo 4, oh ta ta. You're 5'9", and they'd have been like, "What is this guy's problem?"
That's right. We told him he should sign off like that. He should be K4OTT 73 ta-ta. 73 from O ta-ta.
His call sounds so fun in CW.
Yeah. You can't miss it. That's for sure. It's kind of like Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar. That's a call sign you can't miss in CW.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time he just comes in my pile up and he just sends Oscar.
He's shorthand.
It's funny. In CW, he just sends Oscar. In sideband, he just goes Alpha.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I've never thought about this. I should try that. You know, at my normal tone, just send a wit in CW, see what happens.
Well, here's the thing. He's smart enough to send it at the right time too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If he just sent Oscar in the midst of a pileup, chances are I'm not going to hear it. But he sends it in the right time and just sends Oscar. And I hear that there's nothing with it. So when I hear there's nothing with it, I know I didn't hear an Oscar from somebody's call sign. I know it's Chris. So
that's a great move there.
It's fun. POTA's all about fun and interesting ways to work people for sure. So
speaking of fun, I think I haven't confirmed this with him, but I think our good friend Eddie, the Brisket Man, Kilo Oscar 4 November Lover, has activated so far every day this year.
Uh-oh. Is he on another Bailey's
know.
Sprott roll?
I don't know.
Interesting. Every day this year or every other day early late shift?
Every UTC day this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's Bailey Sprott, and then there's Bailey Sprott for the not so faint of heart.
Right.
Which is they're both fine. They're both fine. I wish I could be like this undedicated fool that just like, okay, I'm gonna Bailey on Sprott. I'm gonna activate every other day early and late shift.
Yeah.
But I cannot do it. I can just like I activated last night, Saturday night, late shift for today. Because I said until Liz and her family falls out of the Pesian Challenge, I'll do a Saturday night late shift. Let me tell you, it was cold last night. It was super cold. But I did it. So I'm like, I ain't got to activate today. What do I do?
Didn't you stay out last night and do more bands than just 40?
I did 40 and 80.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, because I knew it was cold. So I figured you were just going to do 40 and pack up. But when I saw you move over to 80, I'm like, man, he's nuts.
Yeah, I did 40 and 80. Well, Sherry's got the bug, and she was with me, and she's like, she likes to always say, "Can we do 20?" And I'm like, "No, we can't do 20. It's nighttime in West Virginia. We can do 80." So today we get at the park and we get done with 40. She said, "Are we going to do 80?" No, we're going to do 20. It's like what I have no intention of doing either one, but then she says the wrong one, and I have to say another one.
You do 11 meters. I hear it's great.
Yeah, in West Virginia, 11 meters is real great. You have some great 7,200 conversations.
Absolutely, rack up those contacts in a heartbeat, won't you?
All right. Well, we are approaching the top of the hour, Dan. So what do you have coming up?
Not a lot. Work this week and do some more testing and tuning on the new antenna. Have some fun. As Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie just said, smash the like button and the subscribe and the notification bell so you can get notified the next time we go live or when James posts the video. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed and you've watched a couple of these streams or you've watched a couple of his videos, shoot him an email. Him, not me. And let him know why. Because it would be curious. hamradioadventureguy@gmail.com. James, what's up?
For me, honestly, I might go out and do a late shift.
Nice.
I might just slide out. I don't know if I'm going to do CW only or if I'm going to Now I'm going to do voice too. I'm going to give people a chance to get me on voice too. If I go, I ain't 100% sure, but I'm thinking I'm going to go on a late shift. Other than that, I'm going to be doing my grind thing this week, activating every day, trying to drop a TikTok or video. It's a little rougher to drop videos with this much snow on the ground because,
Yeah.
in case y'all ain't noticed, I'm not that person that sits in my house and films videos.
It's
It
hard to
drives me-
find them. It's hard to find them too. If you drop a video in the snow, it kind of sinks down.
It does.
Yeah.
So, we'll just see. But you know what? I always drop pictures and stuff as well on Instagram. I got Twitter. I got all this stuff, guys, that you can follow me on in case you just got that craving that you're just not getting enough PZN. But the best way to do it is to join Patreon because those guys get all kinds of crazy benefits. Anyway, it is time for Frank or Charlie to have an activation and or an activation. I have a live stream, and see there you can see where my mind's going. And I think I'm going to go have an activation and let people. Mike says 1810, yes,
That's right.
that's right. That rare 1810 coming up. So you guys have a good evening, and thanks for the super chats. And we'll see y'all on the air. 73, everybody.
73 guys.